Well, hello, guys. Welcome back to the podcast, Unicorn Diaries, where life isn't all rainbows over here. Okay? So, y'all, today we got a good topic, and we're going to get into some things about changing your perspective. So, y'all, I want to bring up a part of the topic where I kind of let you guys know where people forget to do some of these things. And one of the things I wanted to bring up is educating yourself. You should educate yourself because lack of knowledge will make you perish. That means have you ever heard of saying, well, basically, if you don't build yourself goals or build yourself up, then, you know, people will build your life for you. And so you don't want to ever be in a position to do stuff like that where other people are making decisions for you, putting stuff in your head on what you should be, what you shouldn't be. We had some of those experiences as kids, but being an adult now, you don't want to be put in that category where people are making total life decisions for you because one, you're gonna get depressed, you're gonna get bored, you're gonna feel unmotivated because it's not something that you want to do from your heart. So, y'all, once you become educated, the goals you had last year is not going to be the ones you have for this year. Like, your whole mindset is going to change. You're going to be like, you know what? I tried this, I did that, and it did not work, or it might have worked, but not in the way that you expected. So, your perspective on life and different things, even surrounding yourself around different groups of people that is like minded and trying to elevate and trying to get somewhere, it's going to change once you start to educate yourself and invest in yourself and go into your inner self and learn who you are, what your needs are, what you're trying to accomplish. And you cannot look at everybody else's situation and be like, oh, well, I should be like this, I should be like that. Or why am I going to do this? Why am I going to do that? You have to keep in mind that everybody's pain tolerance is different. And this is a marathon and not a sprint. Give yourself some grace. Like, what one person may be able to tolerate and go through, trust and believe God already knew that that person could handle it, and that person could deal with that situation. Now, some situations where people feel like they want to, um, like not be here anymore. I guess that's the word that I can say without like being deemed by YouTube. But when people feel like that they don't want to be here anymore, they just can't do it and stuff like that, that's because some things in their mind is too much. Like it became too much and too overwhelming. In those cases, you want to kind of take a step back. And then if you have like loved ones or anybody that's reaching out for help saying that, hey, I feel this way, I feel that way, you want to always take that seriously because sometimes people could very well feel overwhelmed about something that you feel is the least like, dang, I've been through worse. You've been through worse to you, but to that person, they've been through, that's a lot for them. They can't handle that. It's too much on their mind, it's too much on their heart. Because also, you got to remember that when people go through things, it's not just that one thing. It's a numbers of things that they already been through, they already going through. And so for a person to start feeling like, oh, I don't want to be here, I can't do this any longer, it's a numbers of things that's playing in their mind. It's not just a one situation. um, but in general, if you are trying to change your perspective on life, you have to realize that you have to start to have a certain emotional intelligence. Like you got to know how to control your emotions. You got to know how to feel about situations. You got to know how to not overthink a situation. And in that, you have to go through an internal healing. And that comes with really looking at yourself and really looking at the details of your life and kind of backtracking to see, hey, where did this type of emotional distress come from? Like you need to start compartmentalizing okay, well, this emotion belongs here. This emotion is used for this time, and this emotion is used for that time. Everything is not a sad, angry, or even a happy moment. Some things you have to get very, let's say you're in a conversation, very passionate and serious about, for people to take you serious and so, for people to hear the message. And then sometimes you have to deliver the message in a way where people can gravitate to it and understand it. Because at the end of the day, everybody don't receive the message the same. Stuff hit people different. That's why when you scrolling through TikTok or Facebook Shorts or whatever you're scrolling through, or even read an article or watch a movie, your perspective on it may be totally different than somebody else's perspective because of their life experiences. So you can't expect somebody's interpretation of something to be the way that you interpret it. You know, I might have watched Spider-Man jump off a building, right? And I'm like, dang, that reminds me of the Matrix, right? Because I watched the Matrix. Now, somebody else jumping off of the same guy jumping off a building and somebody else watching it, they're gonna be like, oh wow, that was pretty cool. That reminded me of parkour, right? Because they never watched the Matrix. So that's just a small and short example of how people life experiences and what they watch and what they see and what they've been through changes the whole dynamic of how they think about any given situation. Um, I also wanted to bring up the fact that when you're overthinking and analyzing the situation, you got to think about the quality you possess within yourself. So when you're analyzing those qualities that you possess within, you start to notice a few things about yourself, you know, that others may not possess as a quality or something like that. You start to notice, hey, you know, I can really do this, or I can, you know, this feels good to me to do, and it comes easier to me than trying to live up to another's expectations or you know, everybody, we pretty much kind of do a lot of the same things in life, you know, just in our own way. But I'm saying in a way of, let's say, this guy has a Benz and this guy has a Volkswagen. That may be an internal goal for that person. You don't know if the person that has the Volkswagen, I'm just saying, for example, that was a goal for them. That was a milestone for them, you know, and that's why you shouldn't compare yourself because everybody's milestone, everybody goal, everybody's like things that they expect for themselves is different. But one thing you don't want to do is compare yourself because that is the greatest joy stealer, killer, however you want to put it. Like you will be miserable, you will be sad comparing yourself to other people, you know. Um, and there has to be a spiritual work because the tangible things aren't going to make anyone happy, you know. So a lot of this goes into you really looking into the spiritual side of things, you know, trusting in God, trusting in yourself, talking to God, like letting God know, like God, you know, I need you. Ask him, like he, and then write it down. He said, make it plain, you know. Ask God and be like, God, you know what? I'm really confused. I'm really at a crossroads in my life right now. I need some guidance. You know, show me what I'm good at. Show me what I can do, what I'm capable of. Give me the confidence. Give me the ability to pursue those things. You know, and if I may fail at what I'm good at or whatever, help give me the strength and the encouragement and the courage to keep going and pressing forward. You know, you always want to ask God. For the strength and ability and ask him for what you want, you know. Never like just give up. And when you get to that point in your life where you want to give up, you need to get on your knees literally and pray about it and talk about it with God because you know we go to our friends, we go to our family. The first person we should be going to is God, you know. We asking for all these things through mankind, the flesh, and all we're gonna do is get confused. It's gonna cause confusion because this person gonna say this person gonna say that, this person gonna feel like because everybody has a different viewpoint of you. This is what you need to realize. But see, the problem is if you had a went to God first because He reads your heart, He would have gave you the answer in such a clarifying way that you wouldn't even be confused. But see, we always put God last, but we call on God first when we going through something like, oh God, please help me, please save me, this and that. You want to make that an everyday call to an everyday conversation, an everyday build up. Like talk to God every single day. Like don't miss a day talking to Him. And even if you do miss a day, you're like, Father, I didn't talk to you yesterday. You don't. I mean, sometimes you don't even have to say that because He knows your heart. He knows what you're going through. But I'm just saying, stay in a consistent spiritual relationship with God, period. Like you don't want to just go in life without any type of relationship with God because then it's gonna show up in your life of the other person that you obviously serving, which is your lower self, which is Satan. And so I gotta say, just change your perspective on your life. And in order to do that, I'm gonna need you guys to put God first. Put God at the head and the front face of your life every day. And if you need any clarification on how you can start this up, how you can do this, don't hesitate to get on your knees and pray. Like I said, guys, thank you for listening to my podcast. I appreciate you guys for coming and listening. If you guys have any suggestions or topics that you would like me to address or talk about, I do not mind doing those things. You can put them down in the comments or either email me, and I will for sure get that content out for you guys. Again, thank you for coming. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.